much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Carly and welcome to my YouTube family. So today's video has been long awaited. This was the makeup I wore on my birthday, which was back in June now. So I wanted to recreate this look. It's this beautiful copper smoky eye with reds and browns. I just think it's so beautiful. You could wear this makeup literally anywhere, anytime. I love to wear this when I'm going out for an event or just a night out with friends. So I love this look, and I paired it with this beautiful burnt orange lip color, which matches the outfit that I wore on my birthday as well. So I absolutely love this look. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. If you'd like to see how to get this copper smoky eye makeup look, then please keep watching. So first I'm going to start with the skin, and I'm going to use this Becca. This is the Backlight Priming Filter. I'm going to use this to prime my skin. This is a really beautiful glowing product that just makes my skin look really nice and healthy looking and gives that nice little bit of glow. I really love to use this as a primer, so I'm going to apply this all over my face. You can see it just has that really nice glowing look to it. I love using this primer. I'm also going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I like to use this just to smooth out pores that I get on my skin. This is my favourite primer for doing that. So I'm just going to take a really small amount of that. Just applying that on my nose, just down the T-zone area. And this just gives that really nice smooth look to my skin, and just a little bit on the chin as well. For foundation, I'm using this one by Mercier. This is their newest one, the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. I'm using mine in the shade number 3W2 Golden. First, I like to pump about 4 pumps on the back of my hand, and then I just take that and just apply a little bit around the face, and then I'm going to take my beauty blender to blend that out. I'm just going to start pouncing that onto the skin. I really like this foundation for a nighttime look. It gives a really nice medium to full coverage. You can build it up really nicely. And this foundation is more of a satin to matte finish. I don't find it's too drying on my skin, which is really good because I do have dry skin. So I find it's not too matte looking, it's more of a satin finish. This colour matches me really nice when I have a tan. So that's just one layer, and that's covered really nicely. It's covered any redness. I usually get redness around my chin and my nose area, and it's covered any little breakouts that I have as well. So I do really like this foundation for going out at night and for events, because I find it covers really well and it stays on really well throughout the day or the night. For concealer, I'm using the one from Mercier. This is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. I think this goes really beautifully with the foundation, and I'm using the shade 2W. It's going to apply some just underneath the eye area. This one isn't too bright a concealer, so I find this cancels out darkness really nicely, and I'm going to use a different concealer to highlight. Just wanting to use this one just under the eye area first. And just blending that out with my beauty blender. I find this concealer gives really nice coverage, and it doesn't settle into any lines under the eyes as well. It's a little bit more of a creamier finish concealer, but it's not too thick. And to highlight down the center of the face, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light Medium. I'm just going to apply this just on the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, just around the sides of the nose and on the chin. I really love this concealer. It's really full coverage, so you have to use it very sparingly, but it just covers any blemishes or redness really nicely, and it just gives that really nice highlighted look down the center of the face. I do use the shade medium if I just want it to be more, if I want it to be more similar to my skin tone and not to highlight, so I love using the shade medium for that. but today we're going to brighten up a little bit, so I'm using the lighter shade. I'm going to set my face with my favourite pressed powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade number 2 medium. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is from Morphe. This is the R2. And I'm just going to dust this lightly over the skin. I don't like to use too much powder on my skin because it is a bit more on the dry side. And this powder is just really nice and light and soft, so it doesn't dry out my skin or make my skin look quite patchy in any places. So it's just a really nice lightweight powder that I love to use just to set on the skin. To bronze up my face, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder. This is the Bronze Goddess bronzing powder in the shade number 1 light. And this is a beautiful warm golden bronzer. I love this colour to bronze up the skin. It gives a really nice warm glowing look to the skin. I'm going to use this angled cheek brush. This is from Morphe. It doesn't actually have a number. I think it was in one of their holiday rose gold collections. But I love using this just to bronze up along the cheeks and also along my temples and my forehead. Just to add some colour back into the skin, because when you have foundation, concealer and powder, your skin looks very monochromatic. It's all just the same. You want to add a bit more dimension to it. So bronzer just really brings back some nice natural colour to the skin. I'm just going to bronze up around my temples and along my forehead as well. To contour my face, I'm going to be using the Tarte. This is the Park Avenue Princess Contour Palette. And I'm going to use the shade Princess Cut, which is this colour here. It's a really beautiful matte, slightly neutral toned. It's not too cool and not too warm. So I'm going to use that to contour my cheeks first. I'm going to use the same angle brush and just use the tip of the brush to create that contour look on the cheeks. So just coming right under where we placed that bronzer, just to give that little bit more sharpness. I'm just doing that around the very outer edge of the forehead and the temples as well. Then I'm going to contour my nose with that as well. I'm going to use this Morphe brush. This is the M441. And I'm going to pick up some of that contour shade. And I always like to start near the top of my brows and just come down the side and just lightly give that a bit of a contour. I don't like anything too strong. And I also just go under the nose as well. And then just on the other side. I find starting up around the brow area here, it just kind of connects really nicely to the nose, and when you do your eyeshadow it just kind of all blends in really nicely, so it's not too harsh looking. For blush, I'm using the blush duo from Jouer. This one is in the shade Adore, and the blush colour is this one here. It's this beautiful soft peachy pink tone. I love this sort of blush. I find it just goes really well with any makeup look, so I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm just going to use that same Morphe angled brush just to apply a little bit of this just right to the apples of the cheeks, just to give that little bit more of a peachy pink colour. And to highlight, I'm using this highlighter from Smashbox. This is the collaboration with Vlade, and it's the Petal Metal Highlighter in the shade Gilded Rose. I'm obsessed with this packaging, it's so beautiful. This is the colour here, it's this beautiful soft rose gold tone. So I'm going to highlight my cheeks with this first, using my Anastasia A23. This is my favourite highlight brush. So just picking up a bit of that product and just applying that right on top of the cheekbones. And I like to blend it up into the temples as well. This is quite a more subtle highlight. It's not as extreme as some other highlighters, but it just gives that beautiful glowing look. I love that it makes it look like your skin's glowing from within. Also going to apply a little bit of that just above the brows, because that's where the light naturally hits your face and it just adds that beautiful glow over the rest of the skin. And then also applying some of that just down the centre of the nose and right on the tip here. This is my favourite thing to do with highlighter. I love highlighting my nose. And also a little bit on the top of the lips. I wanted to look extra glowy, so I'm also going to use this Natasha Denona. This is the Diamond and Blush palette. This palette is so beautiful. I'm going to be picking up some of this highlight shade here. This one is super shiny, so it's going to make my skin look extra glowy. And I'm going to be using the Morphe Y14 to add a little bit of that to the cheekbones. just right more on the top here. That's just going to give that extra beautiful glow. I'm just going to use some of the Urban Decay makeup setting spray just to set all of those face products in place and help the highlighter to just glow that little bit more. So I'm just going to spritz this all over. So now I've just zoomed you in a little bit closer so we can do the eyes. So first I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to fill them in using this Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Mousse in the shade Medium Brown. And it does come with a spoolie brush. It's got the spoolie on the end and an angle brush. So first I'm just going to comb through my brows. And I like to start applying this just underneath the brow first and carve out the shape. So I just come underneath and just trace along the underneath of my brow. And I always like to extend the tail a little bit at the end because my brows end just a little bit shorter at the moment. So I'm just going to extend that slightly. And then I go in and fill along the top line just to get the outline of my brows. Now I can fill them in. I always place the most product towards the middle and the end of the brow and leave the front a little bit softer, just so it gives that more natural look to the brows. And then with whatever product's left, I just go along and just lightly fill in the front here, but not too heavy. Okay, now for the eyes, I'm first going to start using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. And I'm first going to dip into the shade Burnt Orange, which is this beautiful soft browny orange tone. I love using this as a transition shade. So I'm going to be using my Morphe M441 and I'm just going to dip into that shade and just start blending this in the upper crease. And this is just going to be my transition shade and just be a template of where I want all my other colours to sit on the eyes. I always find doing the transition shade first just really helps you to get an idea of what sort of shape you want to do with your eye look and where you want to place your colours. So this is always the first step I like to do. And I'm going to do quite a blown out look, so I'm going to bring that just out a little bit further, almost pretty much in line with where my brows end. And then I'm going to use this Makeup Geek brush. This is the Defined Crease brush, and I'm going to blend that just underneath the lower lash line. Sometimes I like to do the lower lash line at the same time as I'm doing the eyeshadow on the lid, just so I can get an idea of the shape and also how dark I want the eyeshadow to be. Next I'm going into the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, and I'm going to take the shade Cayenne, which is this one here. This is a beautiful warm reddy brown tone, and I'm going to pick that up on this brush here by Jouer. This is the 224 Luxe Define Crease Brush. I'm going to apply this shade more directly into the crease just to give that more depth of colour and that more kind of reddy brown tone that I'm going for with this look. So I'm using that more directly in the crease and just blending that quite far into the inner corner of the eye because I want this to be quite dark reddy brown smoky eye to go with the copper shade on the lid. So bringing that all the way in to the inner corner and to the outer corner as well. I'm also blending that down a bit lower into the outer corner here. It doesn't matter if it comes too far into the lid because we'll be applying the shimmer shade over that. I'm also just making sure to blow out that colour on the side and smoke it out more. And then going back in with the Makeup Geek brush, I'm going to apply that to the lower lash line, and I'm going to smoke the lower lash line out quite low just because I want that to be really smoky to match the blown out eyes on top. So bringing that quite low down underneath the eye. Next I'm going to go into the shade here called He Devil, and this is just more of a redder tone shadow. I just want to build up that more red tone slightly. So I'm going to use the same Jouer brush and dipping into that colour, just going right into the crease with that shade. This is also just darkening up this area as well. And I'm just going to take that same Makeup Geek brush and just add that same shade underneath the eye. Going back into the Soft Glam palette, I'm going to be using the shade Cypress Umber, which is this really dark, cool brown. I'm going to use that just to darken up the outer corners. So I'm going to be using a Jouer 231 Luxe Petite Crease Brush and just picking up some of that colour. I'm going to apply this directly into the outer corners here. Just want to darken up this part of the eye a bit more. So I'm just pressing the shadow down first and then softly blending it out. I'm going to use this dose of colours. This is a pencil brush and I'm just going to apply some of that Cypress Umber shade just right in the outer corner of the lower lash line as well. Next I'm going to use this Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This is in the shade Brown Out, just to add a deeper dark brown in the waterline. I wanted to use brown instead of black just because I've got the more red and brown tones in the eyes. I didn't want the black to be too intense. I just wanted it to be more of a brown shade. So I'm going to go in with this one and just darken up the waterline. So now for the copper colour on the eyes, I'm first going to start by using this Colourpop Supernova shadow. This is a liquid shadow and I love using these because you can actually cut the crease just by using the doe foot applicator on these, so it's really handy. And I love the colour of this. It's this beautiful copper bronze tone. It's so pretty. I'm so excited to use this. I like to start in the inner corner and just make sure the brush is on the flat side. And I'm just going to start tracing along to create a cut crease. And it's really good because you can use the edge of the brush just to get that really straight line, and then I like to come down and add the product onto the lid. Now I'm just going in with that Jouer 231 brush and I'm just going to lightly diffuse that colour on the outer corners just so it's not a harsh line and it's more blended into the eyes. And then on top of that liquid shadow, I'm going to go into this Colourpop I Think I Love You palette. I love this palette. It's so beautiful. It's got so many amazing shimmer tones. I'm going to pick up this colour here, which is a beautiful copper bronze. I'm going to apply that just straight on top of where I've applied that liquid shadow. And I'm just picking this up on a MAC. This is a flat 242 brush. I'm just going to press that directly on top of the liquid shadow. It's still a little bit wet, so this shadow will stick straight on to the liquid shadow and it just amplifies the colour. It just makes it a little bit more brighter and shiny, which is what I want for this look. See how it's just made that more of a copper tone and just given it a little bit more shine. Now I'm not going to put any eyeliner on the top of my eyes just because my eyes are a little bit more hooded and I really want you to be able to see the copper shimmer on the eyes. That's why I'm not going to be using eyeliner. I'm going to be using the Hourglass Caution Mascara. This is a new purchase that I've recently got and I absolutely love this mascara. The brush is a little bit thinner, so it allows you to really lengthen out the lashes and it just builds up volume as well. So I love this mascara. I always start at the really bottom root of the lashes and just wiggle the brush along, and that just gives you really good length. You can see that's already made my lashes look really nice and long. And then this brush is really good for the bottom lashes because it's not too thick, so I find I can apply it on the bottom lashes without smudging. Because there's nothing worse than doing your whole eye makeup and then you smudge mascara on your bottom lash line. There is absolutely nothing worse than that. For false lashes, I'm using these ones by House of Lashes. These are the Iconic Lights. These are currently my absolute favourite lashes. I love how they look on my eyes. So lashes are on and you can just see how much of a difference they make to your eye look. So for the lips now, I'm going to be using this Ofra liquid lipstick. This was a collaboration with Kathleen Lights called Miami Fever. I absolutely love this colour and it matches perfectly with the copper shade on the eyes and also the dress I'm wearing. So I love this lip colour and I really wanted to use it for this look. This has such a cute little doe foot applicator that I don't even need to use a lip liner. I can use this just to line around my lips and then fill them in. So this works really well for these liquid lipsticks by Ofra. So I'm just going to start lining around the top of the lip first. then the bottom. And then I just go in and fill in the lips, and I can extend the top lip if I want it to be a little bit bigger. This liquid lipstick is so creamy. It does dry quite quickly, so you have to work quite fast with it, but it just feels so comfortable on the lips. It doesn't feel dry or crackly or anything, so I absolutely love the Ofra liquid lipstick. So this is the final look. I love the way it turned out. I'm obsessed with this copper smoky eye with the reds and browns in the crease. I think it looks so beautiful, and you can wear this makeup anytime with any outfit. I think it's very versatile, and I love this lip color which matches my dress. I just think it complements the makeup so beautifully, and it's such a unique, different color. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.